Okay, this question asks us to find the first and third quartile for this list of numbers by hand. All right, so the first thing to remember is that this data needs to be sorted from least to greatest using a number sorter. And there's a link in the problem. You can also go to our calculators page at sacstats.weebly.com. And at the bottom here, you'll see a link called number sorter. Click on that. And you just have to copy and paste and go to sort now. I've already done that. So these are the values. I'm going to click on sort now, and now they're sorted from least to greatest. So that's step one. Step one, anytime you're doing anything with percentiles or quartiles, your data list always has to be from least to greatest. Okay, once we have that, the next step is to remember, how do we calculate Q1 and Q3? So all these formulas are in section 2.3. I'll give you guys a quick refresher. Q1, this is going to be the 25th percentile. And Q3, this is going to be the 50th percentile, 75th percentile. Okay, so how do you find the 25th percentile? So we know that the location formula is going to be k over 100 times n. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this because this was covered very extensively in section 2.3. If you forgot the formula, you look back at the examples and notes and homework from 2.3. So L equals to k over 100 times n, where k is the percentile and n is the total number of values. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 15 total values, which means n is going to be 15 in this case, and k is going to be 25 because we're looking at the 25th percentile. So our formula is going to be the location is equal to 25 over 100 times 15. I'm just plugging in k equals 25, n equals to 15. You can put this in your favorite calculator. I do recommend desmos.com as we'd used in section 2.3. So we have 0.25 times 15, and this gives you 3.75. We also learned in section 2.3 that if the locator index is a decimal, you're going to round up. So we're going to round up to the fourth location. Now, I can't pick the fourth location going left to right because remember, these numbers have to be in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to look at my sorted list, which is in the number sorter, and my fourth location is going to be 26. So my first quartile, or the 25th percentile, is going to be the fourth location, which was, I just forgot, which was 26. So I'm going to write Q1 equals to 26. Okay, now let's use the similar method in order to find Q3, which is the 75th percentile. So we're going to have our n is still going to be 15 because we have 15 values, but our k now, instead of 25, is going to be 75 because Q3 is always going to be the 75th percentile. Okay, third quartile is Q3, that is 75th percentile. So what are we going to do with this? We're going to say that our location is going to be given by k, which is 75 over 100 times n. Put this in a calculator, so take 75 divided by 100, multiply that by 15, and we're going to get 11.25. Now, just as a reminder, something weird happens here. Even if your locator index is a decimal that's going to be rounded down to 11, only for locator indexes, we always round up, no matter what. So this is going to get rounded up to the 12th location. It doesn't mean our answer is 12. It means we're looking for the 12th location. So how do I find the 12th location? I am going to go to my sorted data from least to greatest, and I'm going to count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My 12th location is 79. So Q3, my third quartile, is going to be, and I keep forgetting this, sorry. 79. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We want to find the 5-number summary for the data shown by hand. Okay, so what is a 5-number summary? The 5-number summary goes like this. It's going to be, your first box is going to be the minimum. Your second box is Q1. You got Q2, you got Q3, and then you have the maximum. First thing you want to make sure of is that the data is sorted from least to greatest, which it is. It's going left to right. It's sorted from least to greatest, going left to right. So our minimum is going to be 4, and our maximum is going to be 95. That's the easy part. Q1, this is going to be the 25th percentile. Q2, this is going to be the 50th percentile. And Q3, this is going to be the 75th percentile. In section 2.3, we talked extensively about how to find the 25th, 50th, 75th percentile, or how to find any percentile in general, which is going to be using the locator index formula. If you need a refresher on that, please look at the notes, look at the homework, look at the examples from section 2.3. Okay, but in this section, because we should have mastered that by now, I'm going to just start with the locator index formula, which is this. Is going to be k over 100 times n, where k is a percentile and n is a total number of values. So we want the 25th percentile, that's Q1. So it's 25 over 100 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have a total of 10 values, so this is going to be 25 divided by 100 times 10. If you put this in a calculator, you're going to end up with 2.5. Now, if your locator index is a decimal, then you automatically round up to the next whole number, which is 3, so we're looking for the third location. The third location, 1, 2, 3, is 25. So our Q1, our 25th percentile, just happens to also be 25. Next, let's calculate Q2, or the 50th percentile. Okay, so Q2, or the 50th percentile. This means that your locator formula, which is still going to be k over 100 times n. In this case, your k value is going to be 50 because we're looking for Q2, which is the 50th percentile. So we have 50 over 100 times 10. And if you put that in a calculator, you're going to get 5 as the answer. Now, this is where we differentiate. If your locator index turns out to be a decimal from the formula, you always round up. But after the formula, if your locator index turns out to be a whole number, then guess what? We have to take the average of the 5th location and the 6th location. So I'm looking for what's my 5th location, and I'm looking for what's my 6th location. And this happens anytime the locator index from the formula turns out to be a whole number. So my 5th location, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is going to be 66. But I also have to take the 6th location, which is 85. So my 5th location is going to be 66, and my 6th location is going to be 85. In order to find their average, I'm going to add these and divide by 2. So do it in 2 steps. First, take 66 and add 85 to it, which gives you 151. And then you would divide this by 2, which will give you 75.5. Okay, 151 divided by 2, that's 75.5. So my Q2 is going to be 75.5. Same thing happens for Q3. Q3 is going to be the 75th percentile. So all we're going to change is that for the locator index, we have k over 100 times n. Our k is now going to be 75. So it's going to be 75 divided by 100 times 10. if you put this in a calculator, you're going to get 7.5. 7.5, that's going to round up to the 8th location. The 8th location is as follows. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th location is 91. So our Q3, or 75th percentile, is going to be 91. Notice that you only take the average when the initial locator index from the formula is a whole number. But if the initial locator index from the formula is a decimal, you only round up once, and that's it. You only take that location. So our Q3 is going to be 91. And that's it. All right, so the 5-number summary of the data set was found to be 0, 6, 10, 17, and 20. So what is a 5-number summary? It means that your minimum is 0, your Q1 is 6, your Q2 is 10, your Q3 is 17, and your maximum is 20. So anytime you see this terminology, the 5-number summary, it's always going to go in that order: minimum, Q1, Q2, Q3, and maximum. Now, an observation is considered to be an outlier if it's below what? And it's above what? So we have to answer these two questions. So quick refresher on what an outlier is. An outlier, we determine that using the 1.5 IQR formula, which is as follows. Your lower bound is going to be given by Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. And your upper bound is given by the formula Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. So what is the IQR? The IQR is given by the formula Q3 minus Q1. So in our case, Q3 is 17 and Q1 is 6. Which means our IQR is going to be 11. Okay, now let's go ahead and find the lower bound. Our lower bound is going to be Q1, which is 6, minus 1.5 times IQR, which is 11. Now what I recommend here is that you use Desmos to solve this. If you do use a normal calculator, make sure you guys do the order of operations first, which means you do the multiplication first, and then take 6 minus that. Follow PEMDAS. Multiplication is done before adding and subtracting. What I recommend is just inputting this into Desmos exactly the way you see it. So I'm going to go to desmos.com, or in our calculators page, there's a Desmos link. I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna put in my lower bound is going to be Q1, which is 6, minus 1.5 times IQR, which is 11. So my lower bound is going to be negative 10.5, which means that any value below negative 10.5 is going to be an outlier. That's going to be your lower bound. What about your upper bound for outliers? So upper bound is given by Q3, which is 17, plus 1.5 times the IQR. So we have 17 plus 1.5 times 11. And we get 33.5. So our upper bound is going to be 33.5. This means that any data value in our set above 33.5 is going to be an outlier. So for outliers, you're looking for your lower bound and upper bound. If you're below the lower bound, you're an outlier. If you're above the upper bound, you're an outlier. And the formula we're going to be using is this. It's Q1 minus 1.5 IQR and Q3 plus 1.5 times IQR. IQR is going to be Q3 minus Q1. And then once you have that, all you do is you plug it into Desmos, and we get our answers.